Hello students, we will continue with our next topic, that's about the cytoplasmic inheritance, which can also be called as the extra chromosomal inheritance. So as the word as the inheritance, you know that the presence of the character, that is the genes and the chromosomes which are being transmitted or inherited from the parents to their offsprings. So that usually takes place with the help of the genetic materials which will be present in the nucleus. So now here we are talking about the cytoplasmic inheritance. So as a nature, the presence of the cytoplasmic materials is also being inherited from the parents to their offsprings. That is what is being considered as the cytoplasmic inheritance. Before going for the actual example, we are going to let's see here. When you take about the presence of the gametes, that's with the egg region. The egg regions are the one which consists of a nucleus and they have more number of cytoplasm. And these cytoplasmic materials are the one which will be inherited from the parents to the offsprings. So in the cytoplasm, they consist of the autosomal substances or the groups which is been considered as the mitochondria or with the plastids. And these they consist of their own genetic material also. And through these mitochondria and the plastids, the inheritance pattern is going to take place. And when you come towards the sperm, which is called as a male gamete, and this particular the male gamete, though they consist of a larger the nucleus, the cytoplasmic contents will be very negligible. So for the offspring, that is when this two is going to have the reproduction, there will be a formation of zygote. So in the zygote, you are able to identify the nuclear material and also the cytoplasmic material. Where the cytoplasmic material is going to come? That is going to come from the mother, that is from the maternal region. So from the maternal part, you are going to have in the zygote the cytoplasm. And those type you are going to call it as the cytoplasmic inheritance. How the inheritance patterns are going to take place, that we are going to see now in the paramecium. So paramecium, they consist of the kappa particles. It can be called as the kappa particles or the kappa particles. Depending on your pronunciations, you can call it as such. So with the word as a paramecium, let's just go back towards the protozoans and you are going to see a few characteristic features. The parameciums, as we are going to call, they are being considered as the microscopic organism, the small organism with a single cell. So one-celled protozoan organism, and usually it is being considered as an aquatic organism. So this aquatic organism usually will be present in the ponds or with the stagnant water. And the type of reproduction they undergo, that is called as asexual type of reproduction, and that is through fission. And they also take about a primitive type of the sexual reproduction, which is in the form of conjugation. Usually sexual reproduction means we are going to consider the presence of the male and the female gametes which undergo fusion. You are going to call it as the reproduction, the sexual type of reproduction. But in case of paramecium, they undergo a special type of the reproduction which is called as the conjugation. During conjugation, what do you mean by the word as a conjugation? Let's going to see here. Just for example, if you are going to take up the presence of the two paramecium organisms. So the presence of the two paramecium organisms is going to come together, and in the further they are going to be very close to each other, and they are going to form a small bridge in between them. So this particular bridge, you are going to call it as a temporary bridge which has been formed, and they undergo the exchange of genetic materials through that particular bridge, and that is being called as conjugation. Now, the structure what we are going to see. So here you can observe the kappa particles are the one where it is going to take place in the paramecium, and that was done here by a scientist called as T.M. Sonneborn. Sonneborn, where the significant work on the cytoplasmic inheritance he has done. And we are taking the species that is called as the Paramecium aurelia. In case of the Paramecium aurelia, you can observe there are two types. One is called as a killer strain, the other one is called as a sensitive strain. The killer strain is called as a dominant one, and they have a dominant gene, the capital K, capital K. The sensitive strain is a recessive, and they consist of a recessive gene that is called the small k and small k. Here one important point is they have the presence of the dominant gene. The another important point why it is called as killer, because in their cytoplasm, so you can observe this is the killer strain, the Paramecium. Inside the nucleus there is a dominant gene. Outside the nucleus this is called as the cytoplasm. So in the cytoplasm they have the presence of a toxic substances, and that is called as paramecin. And here the paramecin is been present inside the kappa particles. So cytoplasm consists of the kappa particles, and these kappa particles is going to release the toxic substances called as paramecin, and this paramecin is going to kill the other organisms. So those organisms are called as sensitive organisms. So here it is called as killer strain. Here it is called as sensitive because it is going to die because they do not have any toxic substances. So when the toxin is released, naturally the sensitive forms are going to die. You can observe in the diagram here. So this has been considered as the killer or species, and this is with the sensitive species. So here they have the recessive gene with no kappa particles. Here they have the dominant gene with kappa particles. Usually the presence of the kappa particles and the killer strain and also with the sensitive strain, never it can be present in one particular water medium, because it is going to release the toxins and it is going to kill here. So rare type of conjugation takes place in between these two. So what is those rare the type of a conjugation? What they are going to do in the laboratory, that is in the artificial manner, where they are going to take with the fresh water, where the fresh water still the killer strain has not released with the toxic substances. These two type of the species are released there. When they are going to be released, they undergo the process of conjugation. So during conjugation, as we told her, the two species are going to be present together. The two species are going to be present together, and in between them they undergo the presence of a small bridge, and the exchange of the genetic materials takes place. So here the exchange of only nuclear material is going to take place. Why only nuclear material? Because it is going to take place with less than 3 minutes. What is going to happen? Less than 3 minutes the conjugation process is going to take place. So when there is less than 3 minutes, naturally they undergo only the nuclear material exchange will take place. And the X conjugates, now you can observe they are going to have the presence of the capital K and a small k, that is a dominant gene and a recessive gene, and also the presence of the kappa particles. So it is called as the killer strain. In another one, since it is less than 3 minutes, there is an exchange of only the nuclear substances, where the capital K and the small k is being present, and there is no kappa particles in the cytoplasm. So it is called as the sensitive nature. When they undergo the process called as the autogamy. So the autogamy refers, you are going to call it as the self-fertilization process. So during the self-fertilization process, they undergo the process of the reproduction, where you are going to get back the two same killer strains. With the sensitive, when the autogamy is going to take place, you are going to get back with the same sensitive strains. So this is going to happen where there is less than 3 minutes of conjugation. Now coming towards the another one, that's with the cytoplasmic exchange is going to take place. When the cytoplasmic exchange is going to take place, when the conjugation going to take than 3 minutes. When the conjugation is going to take place for more than 3 minutes, along with the nuclear exchange, the cytoplasmic substances are also going to get exchanged. You can observe here there is the exchange of the nuclear material and also the cytoplasmic exchange is going to take place. In the X conjugates, after the conjugation has been completed, you're going to call them as a X conjugates. So in the X conjugates, you can observe here in the nucleus they have a dominant gene, recessive gene and also the kappa particles. So you're going to call it as the killer strain. Also you can observe here the sensitive strain has been transformed now with the presence of a dominant gene, the recessive gene and also with the kappa particles. So you're going to call this again as a killer. So the sensitive is being transferred towards the killer one. When the autogamy or with the self fertilization is going to take place, so you can observe you're going to get back with the two species, the killer strain and with the autogamy of the another one, where the sensitive has been replaced with the killer, you're going to get back with the two killer strains are going to be formed. So this is how the cytoplasmic exchange is going to take place in case of the paramecium. In our next video, we are going to take about another example that includes with the coiling of the shell. Thank you.